Mhm. Got it.
Is anyone appearing for Jackson?
I talked to his attorney and they should be here.
Well, they are not. Moving on. Mr. Lopez going to be joining us.
Mr. Okwesi emailed asking for the link, so one of them should be here.
Sarah, why don't you help bring in these people as we start moving through this? I don't see Mr. Okwesi either. Okay, so we're going to move on. Robinson's next, if they're even here. I'm going to start calling bond forfeitures in a second if they're not here. You see Robinson or Lorenzo Williams?
I do not.
Have a motion. State.
Dave moves for bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
Jacob. Crystal Robinson.
Crystal Robinson.
No answer at 2:35.
Thank you. New bond is set at $4,500. Don't bring the next case yet. All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 226-542, 545, 544, 543. Mr. Elliott, can you give me a update on this case?
Yes, Judge, this is got a bunch of victims in it. I talked to the state earlier today to check in on the progress. They are still coordinating restitution and whatnot from all the different victims in the case. And so they're not prepared to make me an offer yet because they're still garnering restitution numbers and trying to consolidate this into some kind of resolution that we can do as a package deal. So, but we are working on it. I talked to them today about it.
Hey, Elliot, I got a question on that day I got detained for my drug test. Did they give you some videos of it?
Yes. We can talk about that later. We can talk about that later. Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a call after this.
Sorry, Judge.
Okay. All right. When's your next court setting?
Judge, I actually had a question about that because it appears that he's set for arraignment on 8/11. So we're on status now. He has an arraignment and then a status again in September.
Hold on, let me get to it.
That arraignment should be void because he came out before all of his other settings. So we were just going to follow the docket control order.
Okay.
What's that September date? Just so I can make sure it's in my calendar.
September 19th.
And Judge, also, this defendant failed to show up for his drug test yesterday, so he needs to report today for his random drug test.
Villalobos, you need to go appear today.
Yes, yes. I always want to go right after this. I'm like 10 minutes away right now, sir.
All right, head
I'll
over
talk-
there.
Okay.
And I do have that 19th date in my calendar already, Judge.
All right, very good. All right,
The
that concludes
19th?
this hearing. Thank you, Mr. Elliott, for the update. You're free to go.
Judge, can I safely assume that August date is no longer in effect and our next date for Mr. Villalobos as far as his record should be as well as September 19th?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If Ms. Toller will make sure that doesn't get a bond forfeiture or something for not showing on the August date, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right, y'all are free to go.
All right.
And I have one other case, Judge.
All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 228-962, State of Texas versus Viviana Hernandez. Give me an update, Mr. Elliott.
Judge, on this one, this was a hit and run. There's restitution from the victim. She originally told the police the restitution number was $4,000. It looked like that was somewhat of a guess. I also spoke with the state earlier on this one today, and they have been trying to get a real restitution number from her and get something verified. Did she pay it or not? Was her insurance or not? What's the real number? And the state has told me this is going to be a restitution and dismiss case, but they need to be able to get that real number from her, and they have not been able to do so. It's got a lot of complicated facts in it, but it doesn't really matter to your part. It's going to be a restitution and dismiss, but we need to know what that real number is, and they're working on it.
Okay. Well, y'all try to figure it out. You got another status on this case on September 19th as well.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're free to go.
All right.
We're on the record in 22 CCR 229011 State of Texas versus Marquise Green. Mr. Wilson, could you give me an update on this case?
Judge, I have, excuse me, I've sent over a counter. I just got this case last month. But I've sent over a counter to the prosecution's offer. And once I get a response back from that, I think we should be able to resolve the case no later than the next setting. I think the next setting is September,
It is.
and we may be able, if we get an agreement, we can come in before that.
You can, if you reach an agreement, you can contact Ms. Toller and she can give you a plea date.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Thank you for the update. You are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Zell, we need you on this case.
Okay, wonderful, Your Honor. I'm actually, it looks like I have two cases, one ending in 568 and one ending in 231.
That's this next case, 231.
Okay, that's good. I'm all ready for you.
He's been forfeited. There's an active capias in this case.
Your Honor, may I address the court on this? Is that Mr.
Mr. Barrientos, you need to turn your video on.
The video? Okay.
And Your Honor, would you like me to start interpreting immediately? You let me know as to when.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Now, hold on, it's Juan Aguilar, right?
Your Honor, yes, Your Honor.
Right,
It's
hold
my
on, we don't even
understanding-
have your client. Is your client with you?
No, Your Honor, but he should be on the outside of the courtroom. And he was there with James Rojeda earlier. It's my understanding. James had to return back to court, so I zoomed in. He called me. He originally was. gonna
I don't
cover-
have him listed as outside the courtroom.
Unless I got the story wrong, he should be presently, my client should be.
Hold on, Zell, hold on. We don't even have the defendant for you to interpret yet, so.
Okay, so I can
we'll
certainly
find
hang
out
on.
what's
I
going
know,
on.
I know there's a 568 case that I'll be waiting around here for.
Yeah,
us
yeah, just hang
anyway, so
tight.
that's fine. Thank you, sir.
Bailiff,
Yes, sir.
is he out? Is Mr. Aguilar outside?
That's negative, sir. It was just James Rivera.
Oh, okay, I got. My apologies, court. It's been a little bit hectic today.
This shouldn't even be on the docket. He's
Yeah,
forfeited,
yeah.
so he'll be picked up and we'll have an arraignment date on this case at some point in the near future.
And Judge, if I may just, if I may have a few words with the court, just to kind of clarify everything. I was aware, I came back in May 31st. He did not show up, my client. I sent an email to the court coordinator asking her that I had reviewed the doc and it was appearing that my client was reappearing in the docket for today. And so she responded saying that you had pulled the warrant out. And because he showed up late. That was the reason that I thought he was going to be there today.
I had pulled the warrant.
Judge, you
That was
made
the-
a docket
Yes.
entry that he did appear and all discovery was given over to counsel
Well,
right above.
I don't see that.
It doesn't say that you withdrew the capias, but it says state announce ready in one docket entry, and then the one right above it says discovery compliance present was DCD and.
Why is that not in my system? I don't see that second entry whatsoever. I see the forfeiture entry on 531. That's it.
And then there's one right above it on 530.
No, not in my system. I'm gonna pull this up somewhere else. Sarah, you need to put a ticket into IT. My judge's edition is not pulling through that first docket entry.
Okay.
I can tell you what happened exactly, more than likely. Hold on. That first docket entry should have never made it into the system whatsoever, which is discovery compliance errant, President's defense counsel defendant, ADAL discovery provided to defense counsel. That should have never been entered. That was entered on accident. I deleted it out of my system and somehow it ended up in the other system. IT ticket. Your client has a warrant for his arrest.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused, Your Honor?
May be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
There's another case for Zell. Do you want me to bring them in?
No, we'll go on to the next case. Stephanie Leva.
I don't see her attorney, Judge.
Is Ms. Leva here?
She's here, but I don't see her attorney.
Move on to the next case.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Oh, I should say good afternoon, yeah.
We're on the record in 22 CCR 229281, State of Texas versus Stephen Bushman. Give me an update on the case, Mr. Wadwan.
Discovery, I'm pretty sure from what I know, discovery is complete. I did review a dash cam and I was just going to confirm with the DA, but I'm pretty sure there is no body worn cameras in this because of the agency that it's from. I do know that there are two things that I still want to do. One of them is I'm going out of the country in 2 days. So I'll try to get the motion in by tomorrow, but I don't think it'll happen. So I'll be doing it next week when I get back. But I'm going to be wanting to do a motion to inspect the blood vials. And that should be the only thing. I might also want to get further blood discovery, but overall, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we're complete with discovery.
State anything you want to add?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you for the update on the case, Mr. Wadwan. You're free to go. You and your client both.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Your client's having issues connecting, Mr. Napier. We're going to proceed. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228314, State of Texas versus Jacoby Davis. Let me get a status update.
Yes, Your Honor, we have received all discovery. Additionally, I met with Mr. Scavell yesterday. We've come to an agreement on the case. Mr. Davis is going to complete some terms to resolve his two cases.
This will result in a dismissal.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Will they be done by the next setting?
I hope so. I don't know what the next setting is, though. That's my
September 19th.
Yes, Your Honor. We will have this done well before that, Your Honor.
All right, perfect. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thanks, guys. I'll tell them what's going on.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see Miss Marino's client though.
Miss Moreno. Do I have a motion from the state?
Yes, Judge, state moves for bond forfeiture.
Bailiff. Chelsea Nichols.
Chelsea Nichols, Chelsea Nichols, Chelsea Nichols. No answer, Judge, at 2:54.
Thank you.
And to clarify, Judge, I believe she was actually summoned. She was never on bond, so
Be an FTA.
yes, Judge. The state would request new bond be set at $1,500.
Granted. Move on.
Miss Marino, I'm sorry, Miss Alanise's client is waiting in the courtroom and Zell is needed.
Miss Alanis. Okay. I didn't have that one listed from Jacob.
Sent it to her after.
He sent me a text.
Oh, okay.
Sarah, may I ask for a case number for that? That'll make for an easier rendition.
Would you like me to bring him in, Judge?
Yes.
Case number is going to be 22 CCR 228568.
And the name of the party?
Isaac Salvador Franco. Last name-
Caravantes. Oh, I see that. Yeah, I have that right here, certainly. Okay.
Alanis, are you there?
Señora Alanis, ¿está usted aquí?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Señora Alanis. Buenas tardes,
Good afternoon,
su
Judge.
señoría. Buenas tardes, su señoría.
All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 228568, State of Texas versus Isaac Franco Caravantes.
Se abren las actas en la causa número 22 CCR 228-568, Estado de Texas contra Isaac Franco Caravantes.
Ms. Alanis, if you would give me an update on this matter.
Señora
Yes,
Alanis,
Judge.
por favor, puede darnos una actualización del estado, el estado de la casa, del
Yes.
caso.
Yes, Judge. I did speak to the state yesterday. We're going to go ahead and schedule him for a TRAS to start the Safe Start program and go from there.
Sí, su señoría, yo ayer hablé con la fiscalía y vamos a agendarlo para un TIRAS y él va a iniciar el programa Safe Start.
Is he scheduled already or no?
He is not,
Ya
and
ya
I'm
está
gonna have to go ahead
programado?
and, I'm
No,
gonna go
todavía
ahead
no.
and have to,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Zell.
It's okay, please, go ahead.
I have to schedule him with, because he's a Spanish speaker judge. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get with, let me see. I'm gonna have to go ahead and get him scheduled, but no, he's not scheduled yet.
Él todavía no está agendado, pero él habla español, voy a tener que agendarlo, pero todavía no está agendado.
Okay.
Actually, I think I need that email from Colin. Colin, I need that email from you.
Colin, me parece que necesito ese correo de usted, ese correo electrónico.
I'll send it right after this.
Se lo voy a
Appreciate
enviar
you.
en cuanto terminemos. Bueno, muchas gracias.
All right, next court setting is September 19th. It's another status hearing. Hopefully we'll have a better idea if he's entering the program by that date.
La próxima audiencia va a ser el día 19 de septiembre. Va a ser acerca del estado de caso. Ya para ese momento sabremos si él entró en el caso o no, en el programa o no.
All right, you're free to go.
Yes, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, may the court interpreter be excused?
Is there anybody else? Sarah?
Not that I've noted, no.
Okay, all right.
All right, yes, you're free to go
Okay.
then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228929, State of Texas versus Acacia
Acacia.
Acacia Vanderhorst.
Yes,
Thank you.
Judge.
Mr. Smith, give me an update.
So Judge, we are currently set for trial in January. She was denied entrance into the DWI court program. We were going to contact them and see if we could get her reassessed. I'm not sure why she was denied entry. I spoke with the DA on the case, Ms. Toman. She said it's because she thinks that she doesn't have any substance abuse problems. And that kind of confused me. I wasn't really certain what that meant, Judge.
That's a conversation you need to have with the DA's office
Yes, sir.
and court 6.
Understood.
Our next court setting status hearing is September 19th.
Yes, Judge.
I would try to have it figured out by then.
I will. And Judge, just to be 100% clear with you, if we don't get it done, then we will be going to trial.
Potentially, yes. I mean, you've got a little bit more time after that, but you're going to want to have it cleared up, at least to have an idea if she's entering, she can read the program or she can enter the program or
Right.
not by the 19th.
I understand, Judge. I was telling you that if we don't get into the DWI court, then we will be
Oh,
going
if you
to trial.
don't, yes.
Yes, Judge. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you can make that announcement on December 14th if you're ready for trial or not.
Understood, Judge. Understood.
All right. Very good. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good afternoon. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Ms. McDaniel said that her client is having troubles connecting.
Ms. McDaniel, your client is not here. Do I have a motion from the state for bond forfeiture?
State moves for bond forfeiture, Judge.
Bailiff,
No answer at 3:01, Judge.
thank you. New bond set at $1,500. In this case, all previous bond conditions remain in place.
Yes, Judge.
Judge, I can't hear you.
The defendant's free to go in the room.
Why can't I hear the judge?
Ms. McDaniel, can you hear me?
Can't hear him.
How did she notify you, Sarah?
Now I got it.
Ms. McDaniel, your client is not present.
Yes, Judge.
State has moved for a bond forfeiture. It has been granted.
Okay, but sorry, Judge, I couldn't hear you until just now. She could not log on. I've talked to her. If you want, I can call her on my phone and put her on speaker and you can hear her. But that's the problem, is she could not figure out how to get connected.
No, she can come down to the courthouse. She can zoom in from the attorney-client meeting room like we've done for the past 3 years.
She has no transportation. She has no vehicle. She's on disability. Her son is disabled.
So if we would have had this in person, she would have made it anyways.
Well, she would have known ahead of time to make arrangements to make it, yes.
She knew ahead of time of a Zoom hearing.
Well, Judge, she's got issues, a lot of mental health issues, I think, and physical issues. She's sick today, as a matter of fact. Just talking to her, she sounds terrible. You wouldn't want her there anyway.
All right. Bond's been forfeited, new bond set in the amount of $1,500.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Tiffany Smith is next. I believe she's in person.
Yes, and attorney.
And attorney.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228757, stated Texas versus Tiffany Smith. Why don't you give me an update, Mr. Betchan?
Yes, sir. At the last court hearing, I spoke with the prosecutor, and my understanding of the facts are my client broke some headphones that belonged to the complaining witness. And that's why she's charged and arrested. But the two of them have been living together for 13 years. They've got 3 children. And I believe they have a common law marriage.
We don't need to go into all the details of the facts of the case. Just have you been negotiating with the state? Do y'all plan on playing the case out? Are you just going to trial? What's the plan?
The state at the last hearing told me that they would do some investigating on what I just said and get back with me, but they had not done that yet.
State?
I don't recall that conversation about doing an investigation, but if counsel is asking to investigate the status of the relationship, I can investigate that before the next setting.
Yeah, it'd be fine with me.
All right, Mr. Betchan, why don't you talk with the state between the next 2 hearings, between this hearing and the next one, and try to give the court an update on where this case is headed next time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You and your client are free to go.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor?
Yes.
When's our next appearance?
It's on the docket control order, September 19th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 229663, State of Texas versus Ian Miller. Looks like your client's having a few issues fully connecting via audio to this. We're going to proceed anyways, Mr. Green.
Understood, Judge. Yes, Judge. So we've received all the discovery. We are scheduling a meeting with our client to discuss a DWI court option. I believe that there's plenty of time to get that process completed before we're forced to some trial situation. I believe we're setting trial in January, and there's a few more benchmarks to be made between now and that time, but I believe we can get that done before then.
That's correct. So you've got some time. Next status docket is 9/19, September 19th. And then, of course, your trial date is January 9th.
Understood, Judge.
All right. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
Mr. Garcia said he is running late, but I don't see his client either.
Garza?
Yes, Garza, sorry.
We don't have Mr. Santos here. Baran. Motion.
State moves for bond forfeiture, Judge.
Bailiff.
No answer at 309, Judge.
Thank you. New bond set in the amount of $1,500.
Yes, Judge. The state would request all current conditions stay.
Granted. Ms. Westbrooks.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're on the record in 22 CCR 229969, State of Texas versus Israel Reyes. Can you give me a status update on the case?
Your Honor, I had discussed before with the state about PTI, and we were looking to see if that's something that we could do. My client has already completed classes and what have you, but I suppose Mr. O'Brien is busy, but we're working on it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Your next setting should be September 19th on this matter. Just try to get all the packets and everything submitted prior to that date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're free to go. You and your client.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I cannot locate his client.
Mr. Newell, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, Judge. Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Good afternoon. We're on the record in 22 CCR 230-728 and 22 CCR 230-734. State of Texas versus Kevin Hurtado Mondragon. Mr. Newell, can you give me an update on the case?
Judge, I've gotten the discoveries I needed on this case, but I'm waiting for the state to make me an offer because I've reviewed the video with my defendant.
State has not made you an offer?
Judge?
State?
Your Honor, there are certain aspects of this case that we're still evaluating. At which point, once we get the case fully evaluated, that at that time we'll tender an offer. Should an offer be appropriate?
Okay. Newell, I'll see you and your client back on September 19th for another status.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Will be excused.
Here you go.
All right.
Which case did you pull in next?
The next one on the docket, he's subbing for the attorney.
Okay, so this is Griffin, correct? Why do I have Griffin on my docket next?
Not sure. This is Gao, Gao.
Okay, but
Let me
you
look
have
at-
Griffin on yours?
I don't have a docket, Judge, sorry.
All right, we'll have to come back to Griffin. We're on the record in 22 CCR 230-746, State of Texas versus Chen Yang Gao. Mr. Thomas, can you give me a status update on the case?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Louis Thomas. I'm standing in for Attorney of Record Anthony Scardino. Mr. Scardino is at a doctor's appointment for a back injury this afternoon. I spoke to him about the status of discovery. My understanding is all discovery has been received from the state and the parties have engaged in some plea negotiation. He asked that I just request additional time for Mr. Gao, Mr. Scardino, and the state to confer about a possible resolution.
All right, well, y'all have got your next status docket on September 19th, so that should give you some time.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, you and your client are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Here's Griffin, Judge, sorry.
It's all right.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Waiting to see if your client fully connects.
Okay.
Do I have another interpreter in the waiting room?
Yes, Judge. He's for number 34.
Okay, Tommy Tran. All right.
Yes.
All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 231-398, State of Texas versus Antoine Griffin. Mr. Burshi, can you give me an update?
Yes, Judge. I came onto this case about a month ago. Talked with the prosecutor about 2 weeks ago, picked up discovery on the case, talked with my client. We have a meeting coming up here in a couple weeks to review that discovery to see what the next step is in the case. Then I'll be able to talk to the prosecutor more and see what options are available from there.
Okay, next setting is September 19th. It's another status docket via Zoom.
All righty.
Thank you for the update. You're free to go. Your client both. Newsom is in person, from my understanding.
I do see him in the waiting room, but I don't see his attorney.
No one from Mr. Ducote's office is in the waiting room.
I'm not sure who I'd be looking for, Judge.
I don't see anybody. Let's come back to that case. The defendant's here, but the attorney's not. We'll come back. Lopez next. Mr. Trevino, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 230874, State of Texas versus Teresita Lopez. Mr. Trevino, give me an update, a status update on the case.
Yes, sir. I believe me and Mr. Ulak are coming close to a conclusion for this case. He made an offer. I've made a counter. I've communicated the offer to my client.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said?
I'm anticipating a plea deal.
Okay. If your case, if y'all reach an agreement and you want to plea it out, you can contact Ms. Toller, my court coordinator, and
Yes,
schedule
sir.
a plea prior to your next court setting.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
The next one is Mr. Gonzalez's. He's in trial, but I did tell him for his client appear. Same happened on Tuesday, so
And is his client not here?
no.
Motion.
Your Honor, the state will move the bond forfeiture.
Bailiff.
So as the judge at 3:20.
Thank you. New bond set in the amount of $1,500. All previous bond conditions remain.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Knowles, we're waiting for your client to connect.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Knowles, we have an interpreter present. We're going to go through this slowly, okay?
Good afternoon,
Rob.
everybody.
Good afternoon. We're on the record in 22 CCR 230-766 State of Texas versus Tommy Tran.
Hiện tại chúng ta đang có mặt với cái hồ sơ 20 CCR 220766 của tiểu bang Texas với lại Tommy Tran.
All right, Mr. Knowles, if you would please give the court a status update on this case, pause and allow the interpreter to translate.
Ông Knowles sẽ đưa ra cái trường hợp hiện tại của cái hồ sơ.
Judge, I have received a offer from the state, Mr. Gavin O'Brien, that was received back on May the 29th, I believe.
Thưa quan tòa, tôi đã nhận được cái sự đề nghị ở bên tiểu bang từ ông O'Brien, tức là tôi nhận được vào ngày 29 tháng 5.
That offer was not conveyed to my client because there was still some discovery that was outstanding at that time.
Thì cái offer của bên tiểu bang đã chưa có được thông báo cho thân chủ của tôi, tại vì lúc đó chúng tôi vẫn còn đang là ở giai đoạn điều tra.
And it has not been relayed to him since that time either, Your Honor.
Và từ đó đến nay cũng chưa có được thông báo cho thân chủ của tôi, thưa quan tòa.
At this time, I'm awaiting any type of Brady-related information from the state.
Thì hiện tại bây giờ tôi đang chờ ở bên tiểu bang để đưa ra những cái thông tin này cho thân chủ của tôi.
I'm also awaiting criminal history information regarding the will or civilian witness that's involved in this matter.
Tôi cũng đang chờ cái tiền sử về tội phạm từ bên tiểu bang và cũng như những cái thông tin về cái người nhân chứng mà tiểu bang sẽ muốn đưa ra.
And I'm also awaiting some information, either field notes that he would have had, as well as any report or supplemental report that Edward Garza has. He purportedly was the officer that was involved with administering the breath test to my client. He had testified.
Đồng thời tôi cũng đang chờ những cái thông tin về một cái người nhân chứng tên là Edward Garcia. Ổng là một cái người cảnh sát mà nói rằng cái người đó là cái người đã cho cái thân chủ của tôi để thử ống thổi khi mà ổng chặn cái người thân chủ của tôi lại.
He had testified during the ALR hearing that he had no recollection of performing or administering the breath test to my client, and if he would have, he would have certainly prepared a report and/or definitely had field notes regarding it. Those have not.
Ông đã có đưa ra những cái lời khai tại cái phiên tòa AOR, cái buổi phiên tòa đó. Ông nói rằng ông không có nhớ gì là ông là người đã thực hiện cái thử cái hơi thở, nồng độ hơi thở. Nếu mà ông đã có thì ông đã có một cái bản báo cáo, thưa quyền tòa.
In all fairness, though, to Mr. O'Brien, Judge, I've not made a request to him for those specific items, particularly the information from Mr. Garza, Edward Garza, that would make I think a meaningful difference in my evaluation of the case.
Và tôi cũng chưa có thông báo cho bên ông O'Brien đưa cho ổng những cái lời yêu cầu, những cái mục khoản này, đặc biệt là từ cái mục khoản của ông Garcia về những cái thông tin mà tôi vừa mới trình bày.
Succinctly put, Your Honor, until I have that information, I cannot help my client make an informed decision of what direction to proceed with this case. That is either to try it or to resolve it short of having a trial, Judge.
Thì cho nên tôi muốn nói tóm lại là nếu như tôi có thể có đầy đủ hết những cái thông tin mà tôi đã yêu cầu tiểu bang cung cấp, thì nếu mà không có đầy đủ thì tôi không có thể nào thông báo cho thân chủ của tôi để đưa ra một cái quyết định có thông tin đầy đủ chính xác về cái lời offer từ bên tiểu bang đưa ra. Đó là tất cả những gì tôi có, thưa quan tòa.
All right, well, Mr. Knowles, you have until, your next setting September 19th. File any motions that you may deem necessary.
Ông có buổi kế tiếp sẽ là từ giờ đến 19 tháng 9. Nếu mà ông thấy cần thiết có những kiến nghị gì thì ông cứ nộp vào cho chúng tôi.
And Judge, may I respond briefly?
Yeah, hold on one second. The case is set for trial on January 9th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Quan tòa sẽ được đưa ra phiên tòa xét xử là ngày 9 tháng 1.
Mr. O'Brien, you may respond.
Ông Brian ông sẽ trả lời ạ.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Knowles, if you could please, just for ease, I know you could file a motion. Could you please email me all those things that you request and I'll get after them as soon as possible.
Absolutely, Gavin. I'll try to get that done as soon as we hang up here or get released.
Thưa ông Nô, nếu mà ông muốn gửi kiến nghị vào thì gửi kiến nghị, nhưng mà nếu ông có thể hãy email cho tôi tất cả những cái điều khoản, những cái đòi hỏi mà ông muốn yêu cầu có, chúng tôi sẽ làm việc với ông. Ông Nô sẽ liên lạc và đưa email cho cái người luật sư bên tiểu bang.
All right, thank you, Mr. Knowles, for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Vậy là xong rồi đó. Vậy là xong rồi đó, anh được đi về rồi ạ. Xin chào anh luôn ạ. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Appreciate your assistance.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Do
everybody.
Bye. Do I have more? Anyone here for more?
I see Mr. Ting, but I don't see her.
Let's get Mr. Tang in. Mr. Tang. Mr. Tang. You're muted.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Will your client be joining us, Ms. Moore?
As far as I know, she should. I can give her a call if she's not there.
She is not present.
I forwarded the Zoom instruction to her. Just a quick status on her case. She has submitted the mitigation documents.
Well, technically, we're here for a motion on discovery of breath test
Right.
information. But I'd like her present for the hearing.
Okay, I can give her a call, Judge. I wasn't aware that she's not present. Like I said already, Judge, I forwarded the Zoom instructions and instructed her to please follow the court's instructions.
This was her status date as well, I believe,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Yep. I do have another client on the docket, Judge.
Mr. Hinojosa, he's here. Well,
Okay.
let's finish up with Ms. Moore.
Okay.
Do I have a motion from the state?
Yes, Judge. State moves for bond forfeiture.
Bailiff?
No answer at 3:30.
Thank you. New bond is set in the amount of 1,500.
Yes, Judge.
All previous conditions remain in place.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's move on to Mr. Hinojosa. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228254, State of Texas versus Omar Hinojosa. Mr. Tang, you can give me an update on this case.
Judge, Mr. Hinojosa will be submitting some mitigating documents to 88 Collin.
Okay. Is that it?
That it, Judge?
All right, well, your next setting, September 19th. Hopefully we have an idea of where this case is headed at that time.
Okay, Judge. If I may, Your Honor, if I could give Ms. Moore a call, the chances are she works for the VA, in the medical system for VA. So chances are she probably just got busy and maybe she was on earlier and she just couldn't wait for.
I can tell you right now, Mr. Tang,
Judge,
She hasn't been on the entire time. She was the first case on the docket. I called her earlier. I tried to bring you in as well, but you were having issues connecting at that time.
yes, Judge.
And she was never here. So I skipped her to give her some time to show up,
Yes, Judge.
and she did not.
If I may,
Bond
Judge.
forfeited. Her bond is forfeited, Mr. Tang.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right,
You
God
and your
bless.
client, Mr. Hano, are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Jackson's next. Do I have anyone here for Jackson?
Mr. King is here, but I don't see his client.
Mr. King.
I'm here, Judge. I apologize.
All right,
Yeah,
Mr.
can you hear me?
King, is your client going to be joining us?
He said he's having technical difficulties, but I've spoken to him. I don't know if I can. He suggested I FaceTime him, but I don't know if that doesn't really work for Zoom. So
His appearance is required under the docket control order. Do I have a motion from the state?
I can.
Bond forfeiture.
If I can have a second, Judge, I can try to pull him back in or see if I can walk him through how to join Zoom if I'm not the last one on your docket.
You are very close to the very last right now. And bailiff, call his name. He's got 30 seconds to get on.
No answer at 3:34.
Sarah, do you see Mr. Jackson in the waiting room?
I do not.
Mr. King, new bond is set in the amount of $5,000.
Yes, Judge. I'm trying to fix it. Mr. Jackson, I need you to jump on the Zoom immediately. They won't accept FaceTime. They have to do the Zoom. If not, they're going to forfeit your bond.
It's forfeited, Mr. King. You can file your motion to reinstate if necessary.
Yes, Judge.
All right, moving on.
Thanks, sir.
Nisperos. Mr. Lopez, can you hear me?
I can, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're on the record in 21 CCR 220884, State of Texas versus Sherry del Pilar Nisperos. Mr. Lopez, would you give me an update on this case, please?
Yes, sir, Judge. We have an agreement that has been reached. I have Mr. Ulak sent it to me earlier today, and we have accepted that. It's a BIP class and a couple of other classes. So hopefully by I'm guessing sometime after the next status hearing, hopefully we can get it resolved.
So it'll be resolved sometime after September 19th.
Yes, sir, because the BIP class is 16 weeks.
Oh, there's no way he's getting it resolved. He's getting it resolved by his trial date, but not prior.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, not,
Okay. All right. Thank you for
Yes,
the
sir.
update.
Yes,
Hold on,
sir, I
I've
have
got
a-
one more for
Yes,
you as
sir.
well. 1 second. We're on the record in 22 CCR 230-711 State of Texas versus Luis Aguirre. Mr. Lopez, update.
Yes, sir. So I have received an offer. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. I need to consult with my client regarding that offer. And just sit down with him, talk to him about his case. I should have an answer to the state here, I would say, in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so we'll pretty much by the next status document, we'll have an idea of where this case is headed.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Thank you for the update, Mr. Lopez. You and your
Yes,
client
sir.
are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
This is Leva.
Yes.
Ms. Potts.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
Very good. We're on the record in 22 CCR 229-149 State of Texas versus Stephanie Leva. Ms. Potts, if you would give me a status update.
Yes, Your Honor. For this case, Ms. Leva is submitting a PTD packet. She is already working on it. We're just waiting on a few reference letters to submit to the state.
Okay. So by the next setting on September 19th, we should have an idea if she is accepted into any program or not.
She did tell me that she can have everything into me by next week, so we should know by that date, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You do the same. Newsom is in person. Jacob, if you would bring Newsom into the room.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I just want to make sure you know that I am here. I don't have my video engaged because I'm currently homesick with COVID. We have some staff members out this week and it's been a little bit of a juggle for us. And I know Jeremy's there and a hearing on another matter. And so I'm kind of unexpectedly sitting in, Judge.
Okay, that's fine then. Well, let's get a quick update. We're on the record in 22 CCR 230-725 State of Texas versus Tremaine Newsom. Real quick, just give me an update, Ms. Saylor.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that we have received discovery in this case, and we've also received an offer. We're currently in negotiations and still working to see if we can reach a resolution on our own, without, trial or the court's intervention.
Okay. Your next court date is September 19th. Hopefully you'll have a better idea where the case is headed at that time.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe we will.
Okay. I hope you feel better.
Thank you so much, Judge. I appreciate it.
You're free to go. You and your client both.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Garza says his client is with him.
Hold on, which case is that?
Delfino Santos, number 24, I believe.
Mr. Garza, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Client was bond forfeited a second ago. We didn't see anybody in there. But I'm going to withdraw the bond forfeiture.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Quick update.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
We have filed our PTI, and I think we're setting our TRAS appointment. And we're working with the ABA on hopefully getting approved for the PTI.
Okay. Well, hopefully we have an idea on September 19th if your client is accepted into a PTI program or not.
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Miss Moreno's still in the waiting room?
I'm pulling her in right now. And inform her that her client was forfeited. If I can get her to connect. She couldn't connect earlier. Miss Moreno, are you there?
I am.
Miss Moreno, your client, we attempted to bring you in earlier, but you were having connection issues, it seemed like. And secondly, your client did not appear. He's
Okay.
not been in the waiting room, nor did he appear in the courtroom. He was forfeited earlier.
Okay, Judge. Well, I'll try to get in contact with him, but I guess otherwise, I imagine I'm excused.
You are. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the docket. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.